Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Woo! Sup, it's your boy Big Reg, coming to you from the shadow of the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Here to bring you good tidings and joy because, man, oh man, the men's basketball team has done it again with a victory on the road versus the Indiana Hoosiers. The Wolverines sent them packing. I should say the Wolverines sent them down 73-57. And to that, I raise my glass. Oh, friends, we got a lot of good news for this recap. Not only will we be talking basketball, we're also going to be touching base on football. Oh, so get ready for that. Joining us for all these good things and more, first, as always, producer Jay Bizzle.
Yo, got that first COVID shot on Saturday at the big house. Repping Michigan all the way. Even ran there today, the next day, to give thanks and homage to our wonderful basketball team that's really pulling it through. And guess what? I have a special guest coming in right now. I'm going to introduce to you for his probably second time that he's been on the show. None other. Well, I'll let him introduce himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, special guest.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Ah!
I had to make my, a little bit of appearance to let you guys know how Michigan's gonna win the national championship this year. And gotta love the basketball team. Gotta love this team.
Oh,
our
man,
boy.
Man, for those who don't know, let me let you know, it's the one, the only spiciest one himself, Spicy Mike. Holy wow! Welcome back to the program. Spicy Mike. Oh, I'm looking forward to your hot takes, brother. Your hot takes, especially when it comes to this Michigan Wolverines men's basketball team. But next, let's introduce the next person on the panel this week. The one, the only, backup small forward for the Bronx High School of Science, JC from Sunnyside.
What's going on, guys? Big Reg, producer JB. Those bourbon glasses look pretty good. You know, still living in the shadow of producer JB and Big Reg, but it's all right. Spicy Mike, welcome. I don't see any Michigan gear on, Spicy Mike. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. We're very aligned.
JC, just call it a nice hip hat. You know, this is what the young folks are wearing these days. Got the,
Talk about
got the bicycle hat going on right here.
Wow. This is the week that I got my first email about, are you looking for elderly dating? And then you're going to throw that also. Spicy Mike. Hurts a little bit. But anyway, glad you're on the show, Spicy.
All right. Well, with that awkward transition, we'll introduce our next guest, the one, the only, workout partner, or I should say former workout partner to Spicy Mike, nameless guest.
Oh, can't tell you how pleasantly surprised. What a beautiful delight. Welcome, Spicester. This guy can snatch and clean with the best of them. Love you, brother. Still addicted 5 days a week just because of you.
Doc John, you're getting huge, bro. That's all I'm saying. All these videos I've seeing of you, you're getting big. You're like the face of CrossFit Tyson's Corner nowadays.
People just don't know. Spicester is the ambassador of CrossFit and Michigan everything. You just don't know. He's a special dude and guest. But one other regret I must say, is I'm coming tonight with Invisalign, and it's terrible.
Nice.
Didn't even notice.
No, I couldn't see it.
Pain.
Working.
Well, I really guess Invisalign for really being invisible.
Yes, it's working.
All right.
All right. Well, gentlemen, let's get right into it. This was another victory for the Michigan Wolverines basketball program, a program that has been on the upswing that even a COVID hiatus could not stop. We took 23 days off. I think it was 23 days off, but it did not blunt our momentum at all. But we were continuing to go from strength to strength. And this was another good example of how dialed in I think this team is. Producer JB was warning us like Admiral Akbar before the game that it might be a trap game. Oh, but the Michigan Wolverines were not going to be trapped. They're more wily than that. I'll put it to you that way. They were hitting on all cylinders. They were running the offense and the defense. The defense did a heck of a job, and I couldn't be more pleased with how they played. So I raise my glass to that. And I turn it over to you, fellas, to share with us what things were jumping out to you and what gave you the greatest joys as you were watching this team play.
Let's turn it over to Spice. He's the first time on the show. Give us your takes, bro.
There you go, bro. Hot takes, baby. Them hot takes.
This is an honor, getting the first take at this. No, but for real, dude, this team's exciting, man. Honestly, you know what it is? The best thing about this team is that we're a second half team. We play better in the second half, which makes it even more fun to watch. Iowa, same thing. What was it? Wisconsin, we were down. We came back second half, 48 to like 20 run or something crazy like that. Yes. Indiana, it was just close in the first half. First half they kind of, stuck with us. In the second half, put the pedal to the metal and just kind of took it over. And that's what I'm talking about. This is a different team. People who keep on saying that we're not as good as Baylor and Gonzaga, I got two words for them, but I can't say it.
Come on, say it, brother. Say it. We'll keep it out.
This is a family show. This is a family show.
But no, for real, we are as good, if not better than those two teams. That's all I'm gonna say. So second half team, loving it. Love the second half aspect of how good we are.
That's a hot take on this first time.
Wow. Spicy Mike looking over my shoulder at my notes, just like Dickie V was looking at my notes, saying the exact same thing. I mean, I got to say, we're not going to blow every team out right from jump, right? Halftime adjustments have been phenomenal by this coaching staff. The other thing, Wagner is playing out of his mind right now, maybe, working his way up to a lottery pick. But Hunter Dickinson and what he's doing, we all knew what he was doing down in the post on the offensive end, but defensively, he's been stepping up against these big time players. Hopefully he can do it against Coburn, right? A little faux pas the other time, but Coburn on Tuesday. But his defense has been phenomenal also. And the other thing about this team, we got two-way players across the board, right? Livers, Wagner, Eli Brooks, Hunter Dickinson, right? Even little Mikey Smith, he's scrappy. They're two-way players everywhere. They play hard on the offensive end, unselfishly. They play hard on the defensive end. Just a phenomenal team. And I gotta say, Spicy Mike, you looked over at my notes. And if you saw a little closer, you would have seen this. Our strength of schedule is number 17 in the country. Gonzaga is 101. Baylor is 110.
And Baylor lost yesterday too. They lost.
Yeah, but it's undoubtedly we're the best team in the country, shared by Jalen Rose, Jay Billis, everybody else that's starting that shift. It started with the Ohio State win at OSU. The shift is happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we picked up a number of first place votes tomorrow.
Man, speaking of taking notes, dude, I brought that strength of schedule stat out last session, okay? So clearly you're a show behind and you're trying to recycle stuff that's not yours. So that's great to hear. But Spicy Mike hits it right on the head. You know what championship teams are? Championship teams are teams that close the game. They finish it and they step on the neck of their competition to put them down. Even if it's number 4, sucks, who just, I think they lost again.
They lost to Michigan State.
Even then, Even if it comes down to a rivalry game where it's heated, we still step on the neck and we finish the game. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This team is a Final Four contender, not a pretender. And not only that, let's put it down for these coaches who are just taking out the key player on the opposite team. They took down Garza. They took down Trace Jackson Davis. He only had like 3 points in the first half. What is that? You know what that is? That's real coaching. That's the real JH Michigan man difference. That's what I'm putting down as he deserves Coach of the Year. I'm actually surprised that Mark Few is even nominated for this coaching award if they're playing against the worst conference in all of NCAA. That's ridiculous if he's nominated for head coach of the year. It's Jawan. Do you want to build a championship?
Yeah, just got to accentuate a couple of those points, man. I mean, Michigan just proving it week in, week out. I mean, not even week in, week out. This is a 2-day turnaround going away to a desperate IU team. They needed this game so badly. To me, this is a testament to the absolute consistency and excellence and superiority that if a Gonzaga had to go through the gauntlet that Big Reg has been talking about, running through this gauntlet, you falter just like Baylor did. Now, of course, that was a bit of rust, but Michigan emerged out of their pause, hardly a rust, one half of rust. It's unbelievable. I'm enjoying this glory ride all the way. I'm riding, do you want to build a championship back all the way? Giddy up, baby. Giddy up.
Hey. Oh, my gosh. I raise my glass to all those points. And you guys mentioned this Baylor team, okay? If you watch the game, I watched the game. I watched the entire game. And you got to remember that they were playing on the road versus number 17 ranked Kansas. And this was not their first game back after their COVID break. First, it was their second game back. And also their COVID break was not as long as ours. Our COVID break was over 3 weeks. Theirs was not anywhere near that. So when the commentators and analysts were making excuses for Baylor, saying stuff like that, I was like, listen, man, listen. That Baylor team, you know, you can put up all the excuses you want for them, but when it came down to it, they couldn't get it done. Versus this Michigan squad who had a longer hiatus, who went to tougher competitions and still got the job done on a shorter time period. We went Wisconsin, Rutgers, OSU, Iowa in like a 1 week span, for crying out loud. That's 4 games against top 25 competition. I mean, come on, man. And the people making excuses for Baylor. I was like, nah, man. That's what weak people do. That's what people that need excuses do. This Michigan team does not need any excuses because you know what? We get the job done. We get the job. It's like Big Daddy Kane. They work. They get the job done. You know what I mean? So to that, I raise my glass. No excuses. No excuses. Just show up, get the job done.
Just to add one more point, we played Thursday night, and then we had to go away to play Saturday at 12, right? And we still blew them out by 16. Coaches got them ready to play. Unlike the other JH. Oh, I guess maybe nameless guest didn't like that point. He just left. But it's all right. When I brought up football, but hey, quick turnaround. Could have been a trap game, but we still showed up. Hats off to the Michigan basketball team.
There you go. I mean, that was less than a 48-hour turnaround. You know what I'm saying? From Thursday night to Saturday morning, less than a 48-hour turnaround going on the road, and still almost winning by 20. Because the final score, it doesn't really tell how much in control Michigan was of that game. They could have easily pushed it to 20 at any given time. We got our starters off of there, and we let a lot of the bench players finish out the game. and they did a pretty respectable job. So I raised my glass to the bench.
There's too many people on that Gonzaga train who are saying that we skipped out on that Illinois game. But guess who we're playing next? Guess who rescheduled the top seed in the conference rematch of the game? I mean, I don't understand these people. They're just clawing for legitimacy in their weak ass conference. I don't know what's going on over there.
Well, you know what? Let me just put it this way. All the advanced metrics say, that I don't even know what the name of that conference is. I think it's like the West.
The WAC.
What is it?
WAC.
WAC.
The WAC?
The WAC?
West
WCC something.
Isn't West Atlantic Coastal Conference or something?
So
Man,
it's
who cares?
Western Conference.
Who cares?
Something.
Like I said, I don't mean to disrespect them, their conference, and the schools that make up that conference. But clearly, all the advanced metrics, everything else that you can look at show that the Big Ten is a much tougher conference. And the fact that Michigan has run through in such impressive fashion, not because Michigan is not barely beating people in this conference. They are running through people in this conference. You know what I mean? They're like double-digit margins, no matter who they are. So to that point, Gonzaga, and Mark Few, I don't want to disrespect them. I think they run a fine program. I think they got great players. But they're not put to the test week in, week out, game in, game out, like Michigan has been. And Michigan has gone through that gauntlet and come out on top every single time. So that gives them an edge that I think Gonzaga is going to be lacking when it comes to tournament time. So that's why if I was a betting man, I will put my money on Big Blue, baby, and not on the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
All I want is some respect. That's all I want.
Wow.
That's what I need. That's what we need.
Jeter.
There you go. Oh, I'm on board with that.
Is Nameless guest sleeping or what's going on?
Michigan's name.
Nameless guest is frozen.
Nameless is frozen. To my last point, they didn't reschedule their Baylor game, Gonzaga, did they? No, they didn't reschedule that one. What's going on with that? Why don't they reschedule that?
No, I got knocked off somehow.
What?
Oh.
We're having a little technical difficulties with Nameless guest.
Then we got to do a GoFundMe to pay Nameless guests internet bill or something. I don't know what's going on over there.
We gotta up the speed. We gotta up the speed.
We gotta get the Xfinity up in a Nameless guest's house right now.
Either that or get them on some 5G, something. I don't know what's going on in that household. Come on, man.
Hey, Reg, we got a question from viewers who put something in the comments.
Oh, let's get to those questions. Have at it. Let's go.
This comes from Kevin Lee. He writes, another great win tonight with the hard-nosed Michigan analysis found nowhere else. Kevin, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful shout-out. Would love to hear at this point of the year what everyone thinks would make for a non-disappointing season. Is it a Big Ten tournament title? Is it a deep run in March? Is it a Final Four? Is it a national championship or bust?
All right, I'll go first just to get the ball rolling. For me, I would be satisfied with a deep run in March because that's the thing with March Madness, baby. You just never know. It's one and done. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how good your team is, sometimes you're gonna run into a buzzsaw. Like you look at the Georgetown team from the early and mid '80s, the Hoya Destroyers that have Patrick Ewing. Okay, they could have won 4 national championships in a row, but a couple of times, first time they ran into a freshman Michael Jordan that hit a lucky jumper. Okay, second time they ran into Phi Slamma Jamma with that lucky putback. Third time they ran into Villanova, who shot like 90% from the field. That's never happened before. And then the fourth time they finally won. Okay, so even though you might be the best team out there, it's March Madness, and they call it madness for a reason because you just never know when it's a one and done. Okay, so I won't dare to say that I will be disappointed with anything less than a championship. I'm hoping for a championship. I believe that they could really seriously contend for a championship, but just knowing the very nature of March Madness, I won't put my hopes all on a championship. Instead, I'll just say a deep run. Elite Eight would really do it for me. Elite Eight. Anything else on top of that for me is gravy. Because again, you know, March Madness is just that. You just never know, baby. You just never know.
I mean, this is like the 2014 team where we went to the national champ.
Hello?
Huh? We can't hear you.
Spicy. You were talking about this guest internet speed. Smokes.
What is going on right now?
Yeah. Can't hear you. I'll go instead. My thoughts are we need to make it to the Final Four. If we don't make it to the Final Four, I think I would be disappointed. I have that much belief in this team. I think the third time is the charm. I mean, first time around, it was a great run. Like, we were eking out wins. I mean, do you remember Trey Burke? Do you remember him hitting that three-pointer just to get us to, like, overtime? Oh, that was by the skin of our teeth. And granted, I was there in the first one. In the championship game. Did he foul Pena? No. Did those Louisville players cheat? Yeah. Did that program cheat? Yeah. But whatever's. I mean, we didn't play well enough in the second half. Whatever his name was going off on Louisville. I mean, that's how March Madness is, right? Second time around, we're in San Antonio, right? Villanova, great team. But did we have the tools to actually make it to the championship game and win it? Yes, we did. But guess what happens? DiVincenzo just bombs us out with those deep threes. And what can we do? We can't hit a bucket. So to me, Final Four, that's what I consider a great season to cap it off. I mean, they've already proven to me what a great team they are. I'm so satisfied already with just feeling this good about this team, and especially even towards next year. The confidence in Juwan is like, it's such a high moment right now that, this is all gravy right now, but Final Four would be even the cherry on top of this great season.
I mean, expectations, right, have changed. Going into the season, we didn't know how Sean Lee Brown and Mike Smith would adjust to the team. So going into the season, I was thinking maybe top 5 in the Big Ten, maybe a top 6 seed in the NCAA, win a couple of games, and I would have been satisfied. Everything else would have been gravy. Now, having seen this team, all the two-way players, the fact that we don't have to double anybody. Hunter Dickinson can just, he's not the most athletic guy, but he'll just raise his hands, move his feet, right? The wings and the guards can guard the three-pointers. I mean, we can shut any team down because of that. Yes, I think we're on the cusp of the regular season Big Ten championship, the toughest conference in the country. We're going to be number 1 there. We're going to make a deep run to the Big Ten championship, the Big Ten tournament. And I would say, I agree with producer JB, Final Four. Without a Final Four, I would be a little disappointed given what we've seen with this team, right? This team is capable of doing great things. We got star power everywhere. We got a great bench, great coaching staff. The culture is phenomenal. Final Four. You're on mute. You're on mute, nameless guest. You're on mute.
Come on, let me in here before my 5G goes out again. Come on, can I get in a word, please? Holy smokes. Okay. I don't know what happened. I heard all you guys making fun of me in the GoFundMe, by the way. I'm going to remember that. Now, listen. Big Ten championship, definitely. Okay, definitely. It's in the bag pretty much. But, I got to see us beat Illinois. I've been reading and hearing some clips from that whiny ass coach. Like does anyone know this coach over there in Illinois? I'm getting tired of some of the crap that's spewing out from Illinois. So I really want to stomp down the Fighting Illini. Must get that done. I don't want just a Big Ten championship. Put them down. And then Final Four. Anything less than Final Four, gotta agree. I mean, I'm not going to say I'll be disappointed because it wouldn't be directed at the team. This team is awesome. It has won my love and adoration. And it would just be a shame, I guess is how I would feel. Because we're so good. And to fall short of Final Four, what a waste of a magical, beautiful, no weakness team. Gotta go. And then we can let the chips fall where they may. Final Four, pick 'em games. Let's see what happens. I like our chances.
I don't know. For me, I got to go with Reggie's point. March Madness is a tough tournament. Anything could happen. Hunter Dickinson gets 3 fouls in the first half. That's a problem right there. I mean, you know, as much as I love the kid, he gets into foul troubles here and there. And once that happens, and if Isaiah doesn't hit any shots, anything can happen. So for me, Big Ten championship, tournament for sure, and tournament championship, I think that's almost a must. March Madness, you know, long as we make a solid run, I'm happy with it. Long as we put out an effort and, you know, make it as far as we think. I mean, if they lose like some crappy game by not playing, you know, Michigan basketball, not passing the ball around, not, you know, playing good defense, you know, turn the ball over, then yeah, that's disappointing. But if they do everything that they've done and still lose, then I'm okay with that. I think Juwan has a, you know, #1 recruiting class coming in next year. You know, we're going to lose Isaiah, most likely Franz. Even Hunter, I don't know. Hopefully he comes back, works on his 15 to 20-foot jumper to, you know, round out his game and be the you know, NBA prospect that he should be. Yeah, and then next year, I don't know, just reload and just make that run again. So I'm okay with us not making the Final Four or winning the national championship. I'm okay with that. I think just, you know, making a good run in March Madness, that's all I'm hoping for.
I'll put it this way. This is how crazy it would be if Michigan made the Final Four this year. You got to look at it this way. Isaiah Livers made the Final Four with John Beilein. And if he makes the Final Four again, he'll make it with his second head coach. How many schools out there can say that they made the Final Four within a 3-year period with 2 different head coaches? Not many. And we can do it. Michigan would be just proving a point that we're building upon strength, upon strength, upon strength. And to that, I raise my glass.
Guys, how can we not be a more solid Final Four? Come on, man. If we
like I said, I love this team, but like I said, the only thing that makes me not put a guarantee or anything is the fact that March Madness is just that. It is the madness. You never know. Like some kid could go crazy out of his mind, and you just never know. You just never know.
Too many factors.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's too many X factors out there, man. Like, look at us with our last Final Four run. If it wasn't for Jordan Poole, with Mo Wagner getting that inbounds pass and making the next pass to Jordan Poole, and then Jordan Poole making that 3-pointer, there would have been no Final Four run. That's how close it teeters on the edge for all these Final Four runs. You know what I'm saying? For me, I can't just say it's got to be Final Four or nothing. Because
I'm not saying that. I'm not issuing guarantees, and I'm not saying Final Four or bust. I'm just a little surprised, I gotta admit, didn't expect some of the hedging here. I thought you were gonna be coming out with a lot more confidence, especially with that strong Cougar Mellencamp lead. Little fizzle, what's going on here?
That's a great call out. That's a great call out, nameless guest. I like that.
I'm not surprised.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
He's
Whoa.
a King Triton. When Ursula tapped him with the wand, King Triton just shriveled up into this little. Come on, man. Come on, man.
And all your
man.
bit about respect and all this fake wallowing in misery and sadness and depression last time. What? 2-day turnaround in this? What?
Hey,
Where's the RESPECT?
I'm gonna back up Reggie here. I honestly think there's just too much. I mean, like Reggie said, all of our runs to the Final Four and national championship, to be honest, it was like luck in terms of like we didn't expect it. We got hot. We were that team that got hot. No one expected us to do anything in either of those tournaments. We got hot, and honestly, there could be a team like that this year who just gets crazy hot and just goes off on a run. I mean, yeah, it's March Madness. I feel like there's only been like a handful of teams who have expected to win the national championship and actually won the national championship as a number one seed or number one. What is it? There's only been like one or two number one overall to ever win the whole thing. And yeah, like Virginia losing when they were number one overall seed, 3 years ago, stuff like that. I'm just saying, as I came out strong too about how we're gonna win it all this year, but realistically, it's gonna be, we got to play our best, and long as we play our best, I'm okay if we lose if we play our best.
But I gotta say, we're the clear-cut number one team in the country, in the toughest conference in the country.
There you go.
Yes, the top team in the country may not win it all, but you have the Duke teams, you have the UNLV team, you have the Michigan Fab Five teams that went to the Final Four, went to the championship. Yes. And there's a toss-up. Things may not go our way, but the undisputed number one team in the country, Final Four. We got to make the Final Four.
Yes.
Right? The other teams with Jordan Poole, they were nowhere close to where this team is. Yes, they got hot. Nowhere close. This is a different level. We're on a different level right now. We're blowing teams up by 20, 25 that are top 20 teams. No holes on this team. The complete team.
Yes.
Team.
Amen.
I agree with all that. But given the fact that I've seen so many of these complete teams that have run into the wrong team at the wrong time. Like I said, a perfect example is the Patrick Ewing-led Hoya Destroyers. They were so dominant with the best college basketball player possibly in history in Patrick Ewing. 4 times in a row, they made it to the final game. 3 times they ran into just unluckiness and lost. And 1 time they finally won. Jordan with the lucky jumper from the elbow. Flies slammer jammer with that BS goaltending put back. And then finally with Villanova, who had like the miracle of miracles where every chuck that they were putting up somehow went in. And Raleigh Massimino won a miracle championship. Despite all that, John Thompson and the Hoya Destroyers went back and still won a championship, despite all those setbacks. What I'm saying, though, is despite how dominant and how much better the Georgetown Hoyas were in each of those other seasons, things can happen that derail your national championship hopes. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, did that happen in the Sweet 16 round?
Blew out of your control.
Was that the Sweet 16 round?
Even though I say that this team is elite, that this team should be more than able to compete for the championship and win the championship, you just never know. Because it's the madness, baby. It's the madness. It's the chaos. It's the unknown that makes us all tune in and watch. This is not a simulation program just based on probabilities, baby. It's the madness. You don't know.
I would have to say from the last 2 times I've been to a Final Four, I mean, I've been to Beeline's 2 Final Fours, man. Those teams, the first one, we had massive amounts of talent. They weren't very organized. And to be honest, it was basically Trey Burke and then the rest of the crew. So that was like that first run. The second run, that we were just hot. We were just hot. We were gelling at the right time. We didn't start off the season very well, and we got stuck towards the end. But we got hot, and we ran through that tournament because of, I would say, coaching more so than actual talent. And then we did get a couple luckies because Jordan Poole hit that shot, because all these things happened. But you have to admit, that last team that went, we were nervous every single game. We were nervous to see whether or not they were, because we're so reliant upon the 3-ball. We knew that as soon as someone tried to shut us down that way, we were in trouble. But guess what? This team is so different. I can't stress that enough. This team is built to handle whatever kind of team. If it's a slow running team like Wisconsin, we can grind it out and we can win. If it's a high scoring one like Iowa, we can shut down their people and we can try to score as we want to. If they should come up on our 3-point shooters, guess what? We're going to blow by them and get to the basket. If they don't have someone who's tall enough, throw it down to Hunter, throw it down to Big Country. Even he can take those guys down. He's not afraid. Plus, the last point I want to make, we have Big Country. We have Isaiah Livers. We have Eli Brooks. Those guys are very, very familiar with our last run. They might have been sitting on the bench. They might have been on the side. But guess what? They were at that experience. They know what it takes game to game. And when you have that kind of senior leadership on your team and you're ready to go for that tournament, they're going to settle down the freshmen. They're going to say, hey, look it, we need to get this together and then get this game done. That's what this killer mentality is with this team. That's what I love about it. That's what I'm excited to see in March Madness. I might even drive down to Indianapolis and just try to force my way into the game because I'm excited about this team. Final Four.
Again, I don't doubt our abilities to get to the Final Four. And I hope that we do. But I'm just saying, I would not be disappointed if we didn't make the Final Four. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just answering KG Lee's question.
I mean, Nameless Guest had a very legitimate question. Very legitimate question. Those Georgetown teams did not lose in the second round of the Sweet 16. They all made the Final Four, and that's what we're saying. Dominant. Number one.
They all made the final game. That's the other thing. They all made the final game, and they won one championship.
You're proving our point.
But I'm just saying, even if you are the best team every year, you're not going to win. You're not guaranteed to win the championship. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what?
I just think
whether you meet that team in the Final Four or you meet them in the Elite Eight, you just never know.
The fact that it's a game, Captain Obvious, is that anyone can win. Do we have to just repeat the inherent nature of a game? Yes, we know something. There's a win or a loss at the end of it. I mean, we know this. I like where we're sitting.
I'm just answering the question, man. Would I be disappointed if Michigan lost to some fluke, hot hand? Like, what's his name? The kid down at OSU, Oklahoma State, Caleb Cunningham. Whatever his name is.
Caleb Cunningham.
Okay.
Yeah, Caleb Cunningham. Like, all of a sudden, he scores like 97 points. And we're like, what the heck just happened? Is it likely that he's going to score 97 and beat us? Probably not. But, would I be disappointed that we lost to that? No.
Okay. One quickie here. I'm gonna sort of back up JB's point because I couldn't agree with it more. I mean, this team is so stinking special. So with everything that we got coming next year, right? Even with, let's say, Hunter stays with us, which I think he will, but we'll see. I like our chances better this year by far. So let's not be waiting for next year or the one after that. I really like where we are this year.
Because the difference this year, in order to make a deep run, you need great point guard play.
Yeah.
Right? And we have Mike Smith, who's playing great this year.
Yep.
Next year, that's a little bit of a question mark. Zeb Jackson, the other four-star recruit come in, could they handle the point guard duties? We don't know. But this year, we know what we got in Mike Smith.
Yep.
We know what we got in Hunter Dickinson, Franz Wagner, Isaiah Livers, Sean D. Brown, all players that will not be here next year.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Mike Smith, man. Mike Smith's game. I love the way he plays. You know, the pick and roll. You got to respect that he's going to be able to step back and hit that jumper. You know what I mean? The way that he could drive, create his own shot, or drive and create shots for others. But this last Indiana game, when he was, you know, when the shot clock was winding down, and we had many other options, and he created his own shot and got it in, he did that a few times for us. So that's why I love me some Mike Smith.
Yeah.
I raise my donut to Mike Smith.
Here to Mike Smith. Anyone else notice how he seems to be grimacing a lot more frequently, like every single game now? He's always Mikey Smith is getting banged around and making that I'm hurting face like every game now for the past 3 games. No?
Oh, don't say it, Doc. Come on now. Don't bring that. Come on now. No.
I actually liken Mike Smith's games to actually our guest Spicy Mike's game. He's a very headsy player. Tries to get everyone involved. Plays defense really hard. Pops out with those shots. I mean, Mike Smith is Spicy Mike. That's what it is.
Mike is Mike.
I wish I could take credit, but Mike Smith is good. Homeboy, that Columbia education, you know, is doing dividend in the Big Ten. He you know, seriously though, that pick and roll with him and Hunter Dickinson is thing of beauty. Is nice. Every time he, you know, gets them drawing in that double team and then just nice little pass. I can watch Mike Smith pass all day long. I'm not gonna lie. Thing of beauty.
The thing that not to take anything away from Xavier Simpson last season and the season before, but the thing that Mike Smith brings that's a new dimension is you got to respect his jumper.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah.
Unlike past seasons where you had to, you know, be fearful of the drive. With Mike Smith, you got to respect the jumper. He can make a pull-up jumper. He can make a three-pointer consistently, and that opens up the offensive game so much more this year. It makes it so much easier for other people.
And he could hit free throws, right?
Yeah.
Simpson was like a 50% free throw shooter at the end of the game. It was a little iffy, you know. But Mike Smith, he tucks that elbow in, like my coach told me to. You know, he tucks that elbow in, and he's able to extend out and flick his wrist. Tucks that elbow in.
Oh,
like
look at that! Bronx High School of Science.
Reminiscent of the Viper.
Free throws. Oh gosh, what was the name of the team for the Bronx High School of Science? I don't even know.
It was the Spartans. It was the Spartans.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
Yeah, and I was about a 70% free throw shooter. I was about a 70% free throw shooter. I think I took like 10 free throws in my career.
I raise my glass to being consistent from the free throw line. There you go.
I love Sunnyside bringing back the Viper in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
you will do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Michael Barrett. I'm telling you.
Gosh almighty. Why? We've gone on long enough about this team. I think we're all in agreement that this team is special, that they are in our eyes, the top team in the nation, ahead of Baylor, ahead of Gonzaga, especially based on the level of competition that this team has had to face versus the level of competition that Baylor and Gonzaga has had to face so far. So I don't think there's any debate on that, despite what Mr. Squarehead says.
He is
yo.
silent.
Speaking of Squarehead, can we just give a little mention to the boy he trashed last episode? Isaiah Livers, man, coming out second half, popping those threes. And you know what? Actually, what I was waiting for, someone to just start mentioning when he just got up in the air, that monster jam. Come on, baby. That was freaking Michigan moment. Beauty.
I'll raise my glass. For those who don't know, Isaiah Livers had that monster follow-up offensive rebound / jam one-handed slammer jammer that really punctuated the victory for the Michigan Wolverines in that Indiana game. Isaiah Livers, like Nameless Kids is saying, he's rising up to the occasion. Him and Franz Wagner, as far as this latest one has gone for the Michigan Wolverines basketball team, they have both elevated their games. Shooting the ball, driving the ball, playing defense, getting assists. They have really elevated their level of play, and to that, I raise my glass.
And 10 boards. He grabbed 10 boards. He grabbed 10 boards. Double.
Livers gave some more material for Jace Howard to dance about, and it doesn't take much. All right.
Having said that, though, you know what? You really got to give big ups to Franz Wagner. You know what I'm saying? This kid has really raised his level of play since last season. I'm telling you, the Wagner brothers, for me, have been the most entertaining imports from Germany since Milli Vanilli. Remember Milli Vanilli? But baby, don't forget my number. Love will see you through. Now, people may say, hey, Rags, don't you remember? Milli Vanilli was lip syncing. But you know what they weren't faking? Those dance moves, baby. All those dance moves were tight. I've been searching high. I've been searching low. Gonna spend my life with you. Oh!
Hey, give me their number one.
Vanilli, son. Woo!
What's their number one top hit though? I'm blanking.
Baby, don't forget my number. The one that I was just singing. The other one was Blame It on the Rain. Yeah. Blame it on the stars that shine at night. Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. Blame it on the rain. Yeah. You can blame it on the rain. I don't know who sang those songs, but I can tell you who danced to those songs. It was Vanilli. And those moves were top notch. So to that, I'll raise my glass. Oh, and Franz Wagner is having the top-notch moves so far in the second half of the season, and I hope that he continues those top-notch moves as we finish up the regular season and go into the Big Ten tournament and the March Madness. Oh, my goodness gracious. You guys, the Knob Creek starting to hit me. But before we wrap things up, we would be remiss if we did not talk about the big developments as it pertain to Michigan football. Guys, we got a huge bit of good news today. And the fact that five-star cornerback recruit, an ingrown, homegrown Michigan product, Will Johnson, five-star cornerback prospect, has committed to enroll in the University of Michigan and join their football program. And to that, I raise my glass. I raise my glass to Coach Harbaugh, but more to Coach, now I can't pronounce his last name, Linguist? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Linguist.
Coach Maurice Linguist, who has joined the staff as a co-defensive coordinator and also secondary coach. What a fine job he has done so far in recruiting. And what a great job he's done in getting Will Johnson to commit his football future to the Michigan Wolverines football team.
Reg, we're having such a good conversation. Why you gotta ruin with that, man? Why you gotta ruin it with the Michigan football team? Come on now.
Wow.
Harbaugh goes out and gets another QB transfer who's gonna play QB1 next year. That means Cade McNamara is gonna transfer the year after. That means JJ McCarthy, whatever his name is gonna be sidelined again. There goes the whole 4 years of Michigan football.
Nah,
bro. This coach is so inept that he is so desperate to find a diamond in the rough. He's so desperate to find another Andrew Luck when Andrew Luck made him who he is. Jim Harbaugh didn't make Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck made Jim Harbaugh. And he's trying to find that again. That's why he keeps on getting these transfers that are freaking 2-bit players that I can throw better than. Wow. I mean, come on. Shea Patterson? Really? Shea Patterson? Are we gonna go down this route again? Are we gonna go down a route of letting these transfers play for 2 years, not develop our young quarterbacks? Joe Milton, he could have been good. He had raw talent. He could have actually made some progress. I'm not saying he's a good player, but I'm saying he could have been good. Dylan McCaffrey, another guy who could have been good. Again, all these players that Jim Harbaugh recruits. If I'm a five-star quarterback, no way I'm going to Ann Arbor. Not even stepping my foot on campus in Ann Arbor. Long as Jim Harbaugh's the coach.
First of all, we're talking about Will Johnson.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
Secondary, the cornerback position.
I'm not talking about
quarterbacks right now. When
was the last time a corner won us a national championship?
Charles Woodson.
A guy named Chaz Woodson. Does that ring any bells? When he shut down a whole half of the field by himself, where he would return punts for touchdowns,
which was 20 years ago.
Where he would run reverses for touchdowns, where he became a Heisman Trophy winner, where he became a Michigan football legend.
Exactly. That was 20 years ago. We haven't had someone like that.
We might have another one.
Come on. We thought we had another Charles Woodson and Jabril Peppers. And I can't even remember.
Jabril Peppers was a great player. Okay? Despite what we want to say, Jabril Peppers was a great player. Marlon Jackson was a great player. Ty Law was great players. All these other players that we're talking about, they have helped Michigan become a winning program. Okay? Even Jabril Peppers. Okay? Because he brought us back out of the depths of the Brady Hoke fiasco. Okay? But guys like Ty Law, guys like Chaz Woodson, guys like Marlon Jackson, they helped us win Big Ten championships. And my hope for Will Johnson is that he can help build upon what we already have and help Michigan win Big Ten championships. And to that, I raise my glass.
I mean, let's be honest here. Will Johnson, 5-star, I mean, great. But, you know, freshman cornerbacks, they did hardly play, right? We played some last year because we were down to nothing.
And they were horrible.
Even Charles Woodson, he started slowly with freshman year, sophomore year, he started to come out really big time. That's all great and dandy, but the key thing here, I think, the storyline that should be is rather than just counting on 5 stars to actually come here, is that these assistant coaches, which have been cleared house and replaced, seem to have a pulse on the college football scene, right? They have a pulse on the college football players. I think this was obviously a continuation of what this program is trying to be, is more relevant, more connected to, and, you know, to be fair, like more representative of the college players that are out there. So to Coach Mo Linguist, I applaud you. Know, it seems like he's really connecting with the high level talent that's across the nation, right? And it's not just, oh, let's go to Jersey and take all the top 10 players out of there because our coach is there. He's going to the top players and he's saying, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is why we need you. And getting those players to actually get there. Of course, Will Johnson, obviously, he's in Michigan already. He was already crystal ball to Michigan for a majority of the actual analysts out there. What I'm more interested to see is, since Will Johnson crystal balled and accepted to Michigan, I'm curious as to who else will follow him.
Yes.
Who will keep this recruiting going? There are eyes out there right now that are still looking at that 2020 or 2022 class and seeing who's going to be out there. So that's what I would like to see.
I agree. I'm in disbelief that even with the putrid season we had, and what we've done nothing for the last 5 years, that we still pull in a 5-star. You know, I'm not as down as Spicy Mike on a Harbaugh and the staff. But I tell you what, today I'm feeling uneasy at best. Uneasy at best, right? 5-star players at Michigan, what have they really done? Like, we haven't really developed them. I think about James Whitley, think about Boubacar Sissoko, right? Those players have done nothing. Other 5-stars to come in from Michigan, they haven't really performed. We talked about this at another show. And Jim Harbaugh brings in the offseason. He goes to his older brother and says, I need help. Older brother, Kyung, older brother, can you help me? And he goes taps 3 assistant coaches from his older brother, right? His older brother, helps him out a little bit. And this transfer from Texas Tech, right? Well, Alan Bowman, why?
He just sounds like a letdown.
Cade,
Alec Bowman just sounds like a letdown.
Right? And Cade I read that Cade is the only quarterback that Jim Harbaugh has recruited left on the roster. Right?
Yep.
Every other high 4-star players have transferred out. Right? JJ McCarthy's coming in. Kay McNamara's in. We got this other Texas Tech quarterback coming in. Like, his track record of Shea, Jake Rudock, John O'Korn. What have they done for Michigan football? And now you're getting this guy, Alan Bowman. Get out of here, Jim. I'm feeling uneasy about this whole
Oh,
thing.
come on.
Yeah,
Come
I'd
on.
rather have the 5-star than not. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But uneasy about Michigan football right now.
My quick
Dude,
take I agree.
We gotta read these. These are all of his transfers, or the past 5.
Now we know.
What is that? Every one of them are gone. Like, I mean, come on. Like, you can't expect to recruit kids if they know that they're going to be there for 2 years, sit on the bench, and then waste their career, and then play a few their junior year, and then at that point you're like, oh, my whole college career is done. What am I going to do next? Like, that's a disservice to the kids. That's, first of all, that's a disservice to them. If you promise them to develop them and to make sure that they play, then don't go out and recruit all these transfers. Don't go out there and like try to get these transfers to play and take their spot. Seriously, like, if I was a dad and my kid was a 5-star, even a 4-star recruit, there's no way in hell I would let them go play for Jim Harbaugh. Not even close. I wouldn't even take a meeting with them. Like, I would be like, are you thinking about playing for Jim Harbaugh? I'm not helping you. Better luck, better luck on your own, and just try to see if you can play a couple games, and then gonna transfer out. Come on, dude. Like, he's just, Harbaugh has been disappointment. Everyone is always saying like, oh, is it assistant coaches? Oh, is all these things. This guy has had multiple chances with dozens of coaches. Every coach he brings is always like, oh, this is gonna be the year where they're gonna be great. Oh, this is the year when the offense is gonna run, spread and speed or whatever, speed and space, whatever. It's like, come on, dude. If you don't have a quarterback who can't throw, if you don't have a running game that can't do anything, speed and space, my ass, nothing's gonna happen. Like, come on, like, we gotta call a spade a spade. He's just not a good coach. He can't develop people. All he is a name. And like JC from Sunnyside said, he has to ask his older brother every single time for help. Come on.
Wow, is Mr. Squarehead in this call? I don't know
Come
what's going on right now.
I'm just speaking the truth. Everything I said has been truthful. There's nothing bad about what I said or nothing misleading. This is no Trump here. There's nothing misleading about what I just said in the past 2 minutes of Jim Harbaugh's credentials and his lack of success.
What I'm going to just quickly say is I remain a pathetic, I guess, Michigan football fan, and I still want to see good things happen, and it's getting dismal, and I can't dispute a lot of what is being said here, but in terms of getting the guys in, it's still he was a must get. We need to get the number 1 Michigan in-state recruit. You need guys like this if you care about Michigan football. But I can't disagree with the fact that this is very unsettling future of Michigan football is still there. The part that really gets me is that the coaching is doing a bang up job, so it seems, on the recruiting front. But I am very afraid of the S show that may unfold when it comes to game day, because with this staff and what we have for preparations, I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
Let's put it in perspective too. We got Will Johnson, right? #1 Michigan recruit. We flipped Rashawn Benny. So now he's coming to Michigan. Like, the talent is one thing that we were always skeptical of, within the past 3-4 years of who's coming to Michigan. That's true. 2, like I said, it really matters on a national front of where we get our future recruits. If it's just within our own backyard, which we took care of within this past year, but within the coming years, if we get stars, I mean, where do we get the Charles Woodson from? That's not Michigan homegrown, right? We plucked them out of Ohio. We plucked people out of Texas, Florida. And if we have these assistant coaches recruiting the heck out of a national scene and not just in particular areas, that brings a little hope. Again, what happens with the coaching in this next year is what we'll see, right? We have to just kind of sit back and wait for it, which is very difficult after this past year. But that's the story of what we're coming up to. And again, whoever we get in the next couple of weeks, because there's rumors out there. There's rumors out there that other people are really considering Michigan that are top level talent. And if that happens, how do you get a program to change? You got to bring the talent there. You have to bring the talent there, and you have to coach them up, right? So that's been always a problem with Michigan. So it's, little like JC from Sunnyside. There's a little shift.
Oh, no. We've had talent. We've had top 5, top 10 recruiting classes over the last 5 years. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. We've had talent. We've had 4 stars. We had the #5, #6, #7 pro set quarterbacks, right? And what do we do with them? They're gone. They're transferred. So we've had the talent. We just couldn't develop them, right? And that's coaching. I'm hopeful that these Ravens assistants can do something with them, right? The gifts that his older brothers give his younger brother. But I gotta say, the track record over the last 5-6 years with the talent that we've had, all these people, all these players that have transferred out, doesn't give me much hope right now.
I mean, it's either we don't know how to develop them, or we're bad at recruiting these kids. We're bad at judge. Like, they're 4 stars, but we're getting the wrong 4 stars. Like, they're 4 or 5 stars or they're 2 or 3 stars disguised as 4 or 5 somehow. They just get those ratings, and our coaches and recruiters are just so bad at seeing good talent that they just go with the 24/7 scouting report and like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go pick this kid up from Florida, or oh cool, I'm gonna go pick this kid up from freaking California or whatever. So it's one or the other. They're either bad at developing or they're bad at recruiting. It's the truth. Like, you can't have 4 years of 4 to 5 pro style quarterbacks or quarterbacks in general, and all of them not panning out. At least one, like, by probability, at least one has to pan out. At least one. Like, I'm not even saying that he's a Heisman Trophy winner, but at least one has to be like a decent quarterback that can start all 12 games and play until bowl game, something like that. I mean, come on, like, that's just bad. It's like going 0 for 200 at bat or something ridiculous. Like,
let's not read too much into the Bowman kid. I mean, that's insurance policy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just getting someone because we need a
yes.
body. They went to the transfer portal. They're like, we had the quarterbacks leave, 2 quarterbacks leave. We need 1 more.
Agree.
I mean, that's what it is.
Agree.
I think Spicy Mike said we're either bad at recruiting or we're bad at player development. No, we're bad at recruiting and bad at player development. Okay, it's not one or the other. It's both. It's a little bit of both. Like you said, how many 4-stars are you going to have not developed?
You guys are all nuts, okay? And I'll tell you why. Number one, you look at all the best recent young quarterbacks in the NFL. If they say, hey, sometimes it comes down to it's a crapshoot, okay? There's not that many. Not everybody's a Tua Tagovailoa, okay? This is a hard thing, okay? Oh my gosh, you guys are all talking about, oh my God. Like if you just do A, B, C, and D, or if you do 1, 2, and 3, as if it's some formulaic thing, it's something that's like part art, part science, part magic, part unknown lucky. Throw the dice, baby. They're high school 18-year-olds going into being 22-year-olds. So forgive Jim Harbaugh if he doesn't have a crystal ball that doesn't have some kind of future prognostication at 100%. Okay? Come on, man.
Let's move onwards.
Y'all put too much of a poo-poo on the whole thing. I was trying to bring up a good news situation, the fact that we could keep top in-state talent in Will Johnson.
There we go.
Of dire need for the Michigan Wolverines. Cornerback was a position of dire need. And the fact that we were able to go out and get one of the top prospects in all of the nation to stay home and come to the University of Michigan, to me was good news. But y'all just putting all this negativity about all this other stuff that has nothing to do with Will Johnson signing for the Michigan Wolverines. Holy smokes. And this is why some time to go.
Breathe. Jeez Louise. And on that note,
we look forward to the next batch of recruits and the next installment of Michigan football commiseration.
I'm telling you, there's nothing that's going to change the narrative until Michigan does it on the field.
Yeah.
Right?
true.
Yeah, that's the point.
We could say all the stuff we want back and forth. Ain't nothing going to change until they do it on the field.
Well,
Right?
how long do you wait until that happens? What is your? We waited 6 years.
It's coming down to the end. We got one or two here.
Come on.
Let me just quote, end this up. All right, today was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Obviously, I live near the big house, so I had an opportunity to go run down towards the big house, and I was hoping that the football team, which actually started spring practice this past week, would actually be out there. Guess what? On a Sunday in the afternoon, football team was out there practicing and getting things on. So, it sparked a little curiosity in terms of what's going on with it. It is going to be something that's going to be coming up soon. We are going to start hearing reports of things happening within the football team within the next couple of weeks, especially at the quarterback position, especially at, key things on the defense to see what's going on. So if anything, this sparks kind of like the spring invigoration of what's going on. We're going to hear some hype. We're going to hear some things that are going on with the team. And that's what we need to be excited for, right? This is a new year. It's 2021. Let's, put the past behind us and see what's possible. I'm not saying that it's going to be great, because I agree. What matters more is what happens on the field, right? So let's be hopeful that things are going to happen. Look at him. He's just dumbfounded in there. What's going on?
Close us down, Big Reg, and let's.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. This is my second. This is not my first. This is my second. Second glass, now Creek.
Big Rock's glass is getting a lot of use there, huh?
Oh, it's got double use this episode. And you got to remember, I started the party off with one of these Bud Light seltzer lemonades, which are, I'm not going to lie to you guys, these are delicious.
God.
I'm just saying this. It's gotten to a point where even on a day with good news, people still look for bad news. So I'm just saying, hey, if we get some good news, celebrate the good news. That's all I'm saying. Celebrate the good news. We got enough time and space to talk about all the things that we think might need to be improved. But when we get good news, raise your glass and celebrate the good news.
Speaking of good news,
I raise my glass to you for helping to bring in Will Johnson and keep him home. And I'm hoping that the hope of making that a package deal with Domani Jackson is still in place. Because we still want to possibly see something that we have brought up a few videos ago, which is the possibility of double dragon. Double dragon.
Ooh, double dragon maybe at USC. Double dragon at USC. Double dragon at USC maybe.
Oh no. I'm hoping for double dragon. The University of Michigan.
Let's give another shout out on a positive note to our new subscriber, Kane Trudeau, who's commented also on the actual channel. Hey, if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer and argue about, or maybe go on a drunken stupor for about 35 minutes to blow our ears out, let us know. Write it down in the comments. Click on subscribe. Click on notifications. We're all here. We're all ready to answer any of your questions that are out there.
Yo. Even better, send your favorite liqueur to the Big Reg. All right?
Well, before we get into our favorite liqueurs, I'm going to say, Kane, I don't know who you are, bro, but you have entered into the top 3 Kanes on my list, along with Kane Brown, the country music artist, Kane from WWE, and now you, Kane, the guy that commented on our last video. Kane, you entered the top 3. So
I thought you were going to say Kane from Menace to Society.
Ooh, all right, top 4, including Kane from Menace to Society.
Wasn't there a Kane in Batman? Batman Kane?
No, that's Bane.
Oh, that's Bane.
Not Kane. So still a top 4. Kane Brown, Kane from the WWE, Kane from the YouTube comments, and then Kane from Menace to Society.
Bravo. But we love hearing those comments. We love seeing those questions on there. Keep writing them. Give us something to talk about as opposed to 30-minute rants on Michigan football.
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I am really feeling the effects of all this Knob Creek. I see you guys, but I don't hear you guys. I see you waving your finger, but I don't know what that means. Producer JB, you have to be more explicit.
Let's wrap it up.
All right, then. On that note, we raise our glass first to the Michigan Wolverines basketball team, something that we could all find joy and happiness in, and knowing that they are the best team in the nation. And we also raise our glass in hopes of a brighter future for Michigan Wolverines football. And so all those things, we raise our glass and say, go blue!
Go blue!
Go blue, baby.
Go blue.